And very welcome to you, Liam Jarrett, reporting on January 29th. I'm going to start doing these daily shows if I can. And I'm going to do a show once a week that will be current events and we'll cover and comment with witty humor, I'm sure, and some spiritual insight. And then on Sunday or Saturday or Sunday services, I really like to do a service every day. We kind of will do that as I do these daily horoscope, astrological, spiritual talks, and I'm sure current events will come up. But and they'll range in time. If I have enough time and I'm feeling moved, then I'll do more. If not, then I'll do shorter one. And if I don't show up sometime, so what? I've fought my whole life to not have to be stuck on one schedule. But I know people do appreciate consistency. And this is very Capricornian, which is where the moon is at the first degree. We have Venus stationing direct, Mars there, Mercury there, whom I just saw for the first time in my life. I've been studying astrology for 3 years. And I've never seen Mercury. It's the trickster. I'm sure if I really worked harder, I could have seen him. But I need to get better at knowing the night sky. When I look forward to that. Anyways, so Capricorn is where all these planets are. And I like to commemorate for seeing Mercury for the first time. That's a big thing. Hermes, Trismegistus, Thoth from ancient Egypt. Moses was his name after Thoth. Thoth. Moses means son of. So Moses from the Bible is the son of what? Son of a gun. Fictitious story. Capricorn, what's real? Real talk. Sometimes that could be tough and we don't want to hear the truth, but let us not beat ourselves up too much. Capricorns can be a little tough. This is a voice in your head. You have a Capricorn voice in your head. It can be this disciplinary force with the ruler stick behind you, on top of you, a father figure authority type person in your life, a system of hierarchy and structure that we have to work within. Saturn, the cube. Saturn stands outside the six, so he's the ruler of the six. That's something to know about numerology and astrology, even because they're all connected, and especially the tarot, especially Salvador Dali's tarot, and the numerology and how he places his cards, and it has to do with in the Hebrew alphabet. It has to do with being in your seven, which is like the head of the dragon of the ecliptic snake, and also Neptune. Those type of energies, just hanging with, are used to control the six, which is Venus. The threes together in balance, harmony. It also gives us the Star David, the Dos Equis, the W on top and the M on the bottom. Weight movement, check it out, weightmovement.org. And that's in the middle is the diamond, the male and the female coming together. The Rastas do this a lot. They'll come together, and one will put their hand out like this, the other one puts it like this, and then sometimes they'll turn it like that. Whichever is the short end, if that's a cup, a chalice, you'd be calling in feminine energies. That's good to do when somebody's talking. Put that up so you can receive their information better. And then when you want to go and project, you do it like this. Or you could use your mental energy, and when somebody's talking, you could put up the pyramid and just block that shit off. No, this shit. That's how, I was on a show the other day. They asked me to explain astrology and didn't believe in spirituality really, or and I'm like, it's not as mystical and spooky as we think it is. It's pretty rational, and there are lots of things that we thought were superstitious. Like, it's just how little we think we know everything. When we can only pick up 0.001% of what we know as reality going on around us because of our senses. Ultra red light, ultraviolet is an example of something we can't pick up. Uranus, an example of something that we can't pick up with our senses. But through our ingenuity, our forward thinking, our human race of we're racing out of our animal baseness, survival of the fittestness, into a human. How beautiful. That's the race. And if we don't race and become fully human, which are even higher than the angels, then we're going to be treating like an animal. Uranus is in supreme harmony with Venus. They're making a trine. We happen to have the asteroid Vesta there, which is also bringing in, what are we investing in? We need to invest. I don't say we need to do shit, but the stars are saying what the heavens are doing. It's just bringing the the energy of the Vestal Virgins, where we get invest from because they were devoted. Through devotion is a pathway to samsara. You don't have to do all of these. This is a shortcut I'm going to teach you. Devotion, because you're like, what the hell are you, like, sacred devotion to an archetype, an idea, a project, a plan. You want to go higher. Okay, well, what's in charge of a project or plan? The Saturnian energy in Capricorn and Aquarius. So you're going to want to evoke that energy. It's almost as if, because the planets hang with them. I know this feels like it's going somewhere all over the place, but it's not. It's very focused in where I'm taking this conversation. The planets in their relationship to each other can be measured using numbers that are already present. This is the law. Ma'at is what they would call the law in Egypt. Ma'at is the Libra, the scales, when everything's even. So we have to be evenly aligned, in line with harmony, balance. The law keeps that. And when we're offended and somebody trespasses against us and pushes us down and is tilting the scales in their favor unjustly, then we have the divine, not just right, but call to action to bring justice, where humanity is not being treated as humanity, but as an animal. Which is why, who's this guy I studied recently? Darwin. Such a punk. He sold out the Reverend who was so lit. He found out about astrology, and Reverend Robert Taylor, look him up, from the 1850s to the 1880s is when he was in action. And he was a preacher, got hip to astrology. He's like, oh, this Jesus thing is fiction about astrology. He went to atheism a little bit more, but just, he wasn't really. He got put in jail for a year for blasphemy and then for atheism. And he would dress up as a priest, as a preacher, because he went through and was ordained through the Anglican Church, I think, it's Church of England. And and then started going around to colleges and then preaching at halls and like in bars about anti-clericalism and how the church was using religion to suppress people in cahoots with the government. That didn't happen one day. Christianity can be used to enslave people. It has. It didn't just one night change. The Judeo-Christian Abrahamic faith has been used to enslave mankind, and it still is. Yes, there's some good things it offers, and lots of things give us lots of beautiful truth, and then they bring in the hooks, the net, the box, the cube to put us in as they stack us in their pyramid scheme with them on the top, all seeing, all in control. They want to be God ultimately, which is what we're supposed to do. Apotheosis, theurgical work. This is us not just turning into when we turn to God, that's when we are fully human. That's why the gods were afraid of the humans eating from the tree of knowledge. Lots of that has to do with sex, obviously. And then the eating of the apple would be spilling the seed. The tree of life would be instead of spilling your seed out when you give out energy, to arc it or onk it. The onk is the hoop, but the cross is earth, us, and then we throw up the energy and we bring it back in instead of giving it out. And when we practice that is what we're taught from the secret teachings of the religions, the esoteric, is that you build up energy and you could lighten up your whole consciousness and be a lot more productive. I like to say, and in tune with yourself, your higher self, your soul, spirit is together. When our soul and our spirit are split off, that's our feminine and our masculine within us, we're weak. And we're dumb. We're complacent. And we come together perhaps to watch football games. Does that give us community? Yeah. Is there better ways that we could create community? Hopefully, that's what the Aquarian TV is trying to do. So with Uranus in Taurus making this is our, if we're not appreciating others, humanity, and our own, we are doing an injustice to the scales of nature, human nature, because we're accepting and making excuses for ourselves of doing things from our animal nature. You could observe animals and how they are beautiful and taking care of each other. And it's not just all looking to eat the next one. So when we look to the Darwin theory of survival of the fittest, looking to right, might is right, he's studying freaking animals. And then that's the measuring stick that we use for our human interactions. I think we could do a lot better than that. And you know what has been harming that from happening? Religion that teaches that one is chosen and another isn't. That one is saved and another isn't. That one is more in touch with God or whatever, and that they're better. The clericalism. When a priest is treated and even thinks of himself perhaps, and often that happens when you're treated that way and you start to believe it. Celebrity, the cult of celebrity shows us that. Also, when these people, they want power. They get high off of power. I've heard them say it before. So when they put down these rules, these restrictions, restricting our freedoms, getting treated like an animal and not a human, it upsets the scales. This is with the sun in Aquarius, thinking about ways to gather people together to do things new in a more humanistic way. The sky is calling for it. We currently have Mercury and Pluto conjunct. That'd be funny. That would be exactly just 26 degrees to 8. So that's a Saturn degree. So then we have more Saturn in Capricorn. Bam. This could be either we break out from the slave system, or they start to tie the freaking noose around our neck a little bit tighter. They don't do it in one quick kick the stool underneath your foot. They do it slowly. Take this away. We're going to, because of safety, we're going to impose these laws on you more. Monitor everything you say, think, and do. If you don't agree with us, you are committing sedition, treasonous. Ooh, technology gives a little bit of a look into the window to see behind the curtain. And they are quickly putting up a freaking iron curtain. Who cares? Can I put 3 squares on the table and feed my children? And go about freely and be left alone to enjoy nature and love my family and provide for them. Well, lots of people, they're living that life and they don't know that there's a lasso around this freaking world, tightening and suffocating and censoring and masking more and more and dehumanizing more and more and cradling and cattling more and more. When I look at the news and going through my research and study, it's not oftentimes that I come to, oh, look, the good guys are winning. The white hats, QAnon idiots. If you're lost in the QAnon, that's such a government psyop. Let's pray for them. Not too much different than Christianity. Just sit back and wait. Jesus is floating on the clouds and he's going to save us. Even rooting for an end time apocalyptic war. Hello, McFly. That's totally self-fulfilling stupid prophecy that wasn't written for our benefits. Just like these rules being implemented to monitor us isn't for our good. Look through history. You're like, oh my God, look at all these times where the government was out for its people. And we can look through the world right now and see it. We're not any different. One day, something just didn't flick. A light wasn't turned. A switch wasn't switched. Where things went from evil, corrupt, horrible into like, we're in this utopian world. No, it's like, it's spread out on the bottom side, my friends. Oh, that's let me not get depressed. I laugh because it's good that we're just figuring this out. And hey, with all this Saturnian energy, it's tough. You can take things too seriously and be too hard on yourself. So with Venus there, love, this is giving us, and with that nice trine to Uranus and Taurus, a new, forward, progressive way of loving yourself, of self-mastery, of sacrificing those small momentary pleasures, dopamine hits, for a greater, bigger orgasm. Not just an orgasm of the genitals, but when our heart and love is put into it, and consciousness, then that orgasm can be not just a heart orgasm, a whole orgasm together with all of Earth, with all of the cosmos. We came here to have a cosmic orgasm. And that takes discipline and work to get to that. And I look forward to getting there together with you, my friends. One big cosmic orgy. Orgasm. Let's go. Orgon comes from that. It's a spiritual energy in us. It's life-giving. All right, guys. This has been fun. We're going to start doing this more often. Aquarian TV, let's go.